right, so we're live on Facebook right now, as well as recording our episode for the show. So what's this, episode 6 right here, I believe. This is our 6th episode of King David talking about personal development, growth. Been reading Think and Grow Rich to this guy here, and it's been quite an exciting time. We've talked about a lot of different things already so far. Learned a lot? Learned a lot, okay. We're in this chapter called Organized Planning, and one of the key things that stood out, one of the big factors we talked about was failure, right? Temporary defeat versus actually permanent failure. Like, there's no such thing as permanent failure if you get back up, right? That's what it's all about. So what's a good, what are quitters? What about quitters? Tell me about that.
Quitters never win and winners never quit.
That's right. So quitters never win, winners never quit, right? That's huge, right? That's a big thing going on there. And hey Jay, appreciate you joining in there. Wants to get a few people, if you,
Who's Jay?
good friend of mine, known for quite a while. He does video and stuff as well as some other things also. But yeah, just letting everybody know that we're in this new chapter here, and there's some really key points here about what could be holding people back about failure, right? So we've been really learning a lot of great things here. And so I wanted to mention a few good things there. If anybody has any questions before we end the episode, just type them in there and we will definitely answer those questions for you. But this episode, once it's completed, it'll be up on YouTube. That's where all the episodes are at right now. So feel free to check those out. And just want to go over a few major things that people sometimes don't recognize, and what I'm instilling this young guy right now, 5 years old here, letting them know what things hold people back, right? You want to say your name for everybody?
My name is David.
David, okay. So we have a lack of a well-defined purpose in life, right? So we talked about purpose the first episode, right? Mm-hmm. And purpose is all about knowing what you want to do in life, what you want to accomplish. And what was the thing you said you wanted to do? What's one of the things you said you want to do when you get older?
Make money.
Make money, okay. I know you said being a doctor before, so you said a lot of things, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to be a superhero, right?
And fly.
And fly, yeah. I'm working on that myself too, right? So I can't wait to be able to fly one day. Purpose, ambition. If someone has a lack of ambition, of course, that's going to hold you back there. Some other things really is just insufficient education. That's why we're working right now, right, early on, right, getting great grades in school and all that good stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say about your schooling?
I went to water school.
You learn a lot in school? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you like about school? What's fun about it?
We have sinners there.
Have what there?
Sinners.
What is that? Sinners?
Sinners are the things we play with, the white toys.
Toys, okay. I've never heard that term before. That's new to me. If anybody else has heard that before, then great. But so lack of self-discipline is another big, huge one, right? So lack of self-discipline, not being able to stop yourself from eating that extra donut or cookie or what have you, right? Anything like that could be a real issue. Ill health, a lot of people don't pay attention to that. That's why it's important to exercise, right? So we exercise, things like that. Mm-hmm. How many push-ups do you do a day?
10.
10 push-ups every day, right? Yeah. Make sure you're nice and strong so you can be a superhero, defeat those bad guys. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, right. So unfavorable environmental influences, negative people, things like that, right? I try to make sure I keep those people out of my life, of course. It's always important to have those positive influences in your life. Another big one to me really is procrastination, right? So if people are procrastinators and all that kind of stuff, then it can really cause you to not succeed in life and really get past the point that you're trying to get to. So things like that, persistence is important. Any kind of negative personality has to be eliminated, and I always encourage them to be positive, to be optimistic, all those kind of things, right? So a big one I just spoke about on one of the Facebook feeds recently was that uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. And so I think a lot of people, I know when I was young, I was trying to get rich and things like that, and getting involved in all these little get-rich-quick schemes and stuff like that, and then realizing that it takes work, it takes effort, it takes persistence, it takes a lot of things and sacrifice, right? So that's important. So what have you been learning on your journey so far then?
Math.
Math? Okay, what's 2 plus 2 then?
4.
4, very good. Okay, so you've been reading and all that kind of stuff, right? So you've been learning how to read, doing math, all those good things, right? Decision is important, right? So there's 30 here in this book. And once again, that's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. 30 different things, and I'm going to go through all, and we're going to wrap up the video here, but just wanted to give you guys a few of these here. That decision is so important to have a solid decision, stick with that decision until you realize that that is not the right decision. Then you move it. You change not so quickly, but if you need to change, you will change, but you don't just move on the whim, right? Concentration is huge, enthusiasm. What gets you excited?
Going to school.
Going to school. Anything else that you like doing?
Playing with my friends.
Playing with your friends is cool, right? Yeah. Playing video games seems to be a huge interest for you these days. Okay. So yeah, you can always get a hold of this book and read the rest of those. But we're working on these every day, reading a little bit, chapter per chapter. And we got a couple other books I'm gonna get them involved in. But we really are really just on this journey, really just growth and development on things like that. So King David's gonna continue growing, sharing. Just stay tuned for more valuable tips that your young children can receive. Thanks.
It's
All right, so we're live on Facebook right now, as well as recording our episode for the show. This is episode 6 right here, I believe. This is our 6th episode.